I'm standing before you and the lunch, so I have to make it really a power talk. Probably people realize that. Okay. I think when we speak about human well-being, I think it is a much maligned word. We heard the marketing people just before me. They were all wondering whether business and the well-being, that is the organization well-being and the individual well-being, go together. People always tend to think that if it is human well-being, it is going to affect the corporations or the organization's well-being. And that's why I told, within inverted comma, it's a much maligned word. Whereas, if I take a leaf out of what SHRM has told, every business probably was started with the concept that it should lead to human well-being. Then where are we and where are we moving to? I was wondering that whether I can get some idea about what exactly is well-being, and well-being, when I'm talking about well-being, it should be leading to a good life, whether it is employees, whether it is the organization, whether it is all my stakeholders, it should be there. As always, we keep on going around, and I was reading a lot of literature. One I could find where I thought a lot of positivity is there. So I am calling it spreading positivity, this definition of well-being. People's positive evaluation of their lives. I mean, every word of it is important for me. I mean, I found it very interesting. That's why I've just quoted it. Includes, once again, positive emotion, the engagement, and satisfaction. So that's what has been defined as well-being. And then if I'm defining well-being like this, then what is good life? Good life is a life that is enjoyable, that is meaningful, it is again engaging, and it is fulfilling. Why I'm telling this? Because I would definitely like to take a leaf out of this and talk about the good life. If you are moving towards good life, and I think probably this I have quoted it from one study by American Society of Psychologists. I don't think we require anybody to tell us that stress is up and our own happiness is down. I think probably this is the right time when we are talking that instead of knowing about the economic outcomes, we should start speaking about the happiness index. I think probably you might have all known about one of the countries, which is Bhutan, which is very high on happiness index. I think if you are in Bhutan, you will be able to realize and you will be able to see that. So stress is up and your happiness is down. Why so? All our measurements are on economic parameters only. Yes, we are talking these days about bottom line, we talk about top line, we talk about several things, but when you come to that, it's on economic parameter only. Can we move from measuring production to measuring well-being? Very easy to say, and it will be definitely difficult to do. If we look at well-being, I thought, again, it could have this three different dimensions. One could be the material, which is very evident, the economic part of it. If you look at the definition, which I took it from Wellbeing, one very important thing which has come out of that is that what I feel, what I perceive, what I see, it is subjective, and well-being is subjective. With regard to perceptions, I think my friend was telling me a story about a sage there is a sage, he has all his disciples, you might have heard about it. He vows that I will never touch a woman. So he is traveling, his disciples are following him. He comes across a river. He is to cross the river. River is in full spate. There is a lady going around. She is crying. She has a family on the other side. She has to cross. The sage doesn't think twice. He picks up the lady, puts her on his shoulder, crosses the river, drops her, and walks away. The moment this does, why I am telling this, how do you subject or how do you see subjectively your work or your well-being? The disciples start speaking amongst themselves. What about this sage? He had vowed that he will never touch a woman. Now he takes a woman on his shoulder and carries him. It keeps on happening. So next, after an hour or so, they stop somewhere for having food. Then one of the disciples, who is as vocal as Suresh as was in the morning, says, Master, I would like to ask you a question. He asks, you vowed that you will not be touching a woman. How did you do this? You carried a woman. How did you do that? Then the sage replies, I carried her then. You are still carrying her today, right now. You are still carrying her. This is the perception, this is the subjectivity of work or vows or activities that you do. This is one example where I am trying to say that well-being or our activities that we are doing or the work that we are doing, how do we see it? So, material, perceptions and relations, these are the interplay, this interplay of dimensions can decide how well-being is. There are lots of challenges. I have listed quite a few. Again, I am also quoting Suresh Narayan that this is nowhere in Harvard Business School or anywhere else, and it's all mine, and anybody who is using it obviously has to pay me some royalty as well. So, one is it's a private affair. Yes, you have to realize that I have told the perceptions, how it is. It's the absence of self-awareness. Am I aware of what I am supposed to do? Am I aware of what I am expected to do? Am I aware that what I should be doing? Then do we know each other? In my team, do we know each other? Do we know my stakeholders? Do I know them well? And of course, one size doesn't fit all. I was earlier wondering that it happens only in public sectors, that whenever there is an issue, we immediately take out a circular. We take out a policy circular, okay, this is the policy circular which is there. But after interacting with my friends in private sector, I also see that, I don't know how many of you will vouch for that, they also do the same thing. The moment something is there, let us have a uniform circular. But we must realize that one size, my problem is not your problem is not her problem, it is different. I think I'll come later on. I think we have to look at it completely differently if you want to have well-being. No means to measure, that's a challenge. We don't know. Right now, if you want to ask me what is the happiness index in my organization, I know people are happy. I have lots of surveys which is done where I know people are, okay, on this front and that front. They have expectations, and they have realizations, and we have the results on that. But we are still not very clear whether we have a measure to really find out what exactly is our well-being index. Last, which I have taken it from again, it's a happiness traps. There are a few traps we fall into. One is, I think again, Suresh was telling about all those A's. One was their ambition. You have your ambition. Rightfully, everybody must have. But that should not drive. That should not override everything else. And then that is where you fall into that trap of happiness. Unhappiness rather. Then another point is the should trap. We probably most of the time, we don't do what we like or what it should be done by me. Rather, what others expect me to do. And the last one is the overwork trap, where we always feel very happy that I'm doing work and work and work and work. Work, you must enjoy. Work, you must like. You must really, I think Jack Ma has also spoken about it, that you must really love your work. Even if whatever time you are giving to your work, you must love it. But for the heck of it, just doing work and doing overworking doesn't work. Then what is the way ahead? Individual, you seek purpose. I think I did not explain it anymore. I think whole morning we have been speaking about purpose. We have to foster hope, and we have to build friendships. These are my takes. I am not very sure that whether this will work every time for really creating well-being. What about organization, mass customization? As I told, one size doesn't fit all. You have to have customization in forms of mass customization. We have an example, I think most of the public sector's people will know it. We have a cafeteria approach that, okay, out of your basics, around 35% of it, you will get in form of cafeteria. Can we give that option to people depending on their requirement? It has been done. So, and the last one, which is more important for an organization well-being, or bringing both employees as well as the organization together, is the enabling environment. I think probably we all know how it has to be created, what all has to be done, so that we create that atmosphere for everybody to know his purpose, to foster hope amongst themselves, and of course, build friendships all around. I would just end with this. I thought when I was writing this, I was wondering how will we do it. We thought we will paraphrase it in a way that it stays with you. Can we develop concrete models towards human well-being so that people are not solely focused on dominant economic paradigm? I think this is what I should leave this question with all of you, that have a relook at entire thing which is happening within you. Have an introspection. Have an introspection about your own organizations. CHROs are here, seniors are here. I do not, often we see people, let's say in call centers, when you interact with call center people or you interact with the clerical staff which are there in railways and other places, they say that they almost sleepwalk with their work. Why so? Because they have, it is very difficult to really relate a purpose. It is very difficult to create or around it that we are working for something, and that is where it does not really lead to the well-being. So I would like, definitely, business has to be there. Business economic paradigm has to be there. But can we only focus on that? Can we go beyond that? And once we go beyond that, obviously, the well-being in the truest sense would be possible. And let us move on. Thank you.